down.
Today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to change a battery.
All right, out at the smoker. Took the back off the LG refrigerator. Four boys back here today. Gonna do a battery swap on the 2015 Ford F-150. Should be pretty straightforward. This is the almost original battery. Had to be warranted within about a year. These things often go dead on dealership lots, and I think this one was no exception. When I got it, they had to jump it, and within a year it was already weak. They replaced it for me, but now it's time that even this one is, let's see, 8 years, so at least 7. It's been sounding weak and don't want to be stuck somewhere, so we're gonna get it popped out of here. Should be straightforward. Alright, first thing you gotta do on Fords, they've been doing this forever. It's an 8mm bolt right here, and it should back out from its place. It's holding a wedge that holds down and stabilizes the battery kind of all in one, and works really well. So we'll get that thing popped out of there. Might have to add an extension. There's the bolt there. There's the wedge. Note that this side goes towards the battery, and the battery has a lip on the bottom that corresponds to that. Next, you can take a 10mm, and these have like a wedge here that sort of tightens its grip as you tighten. Should pretty much loosen right up. Some say that you can put a battery maintainer or charger onto your cables and not lose your presets and things like that, but I'm not really worried about that, honestly. I don't care if the computer and everything resets. There we go. Guy does not want to let go. Covered up nice and clean. Look at that. Gross. Little stink bug. Everywhere. Alright. Pop this thing out. Set the new one in. Alright. 12/16. So right at 7 years old. It's really been a pretty good battery. It's still working. Just doesn't sound like it's got the kick it once did. So we're gonna swap to a Napa Legend. All the important details covered there. This one I think has a higher cold cranking amps. This one's at 680 and this was only at 610, so negligible, but between being 100% capacity and a few more cranking amps, it should kick this thing in the rear end when it's trying to start. So we're going to get this thing hoisted up in there. There are 2 vents on here. The new battery came with a plug and an elbow, depending on what your configuration is. This battery had no plugs installed in either vent, so we're going to go the same. We are not going to plug any of the vents. It does have a note on there about some manufacturers requiring that. But I think this is a pretty Ford specific battery. The way that these are bumped down, and pretty sure that this battery group, the 48, is pretty specific to Fords. So anyway, get this thing set in place and get it connected. You recording? Okay. I usually like to put a nice clean surface on that post. Get off any weirdness on there. And then I like to take a little bit of dielectric grease. I like to cover pretty much just the contact area on these. Really helps prevent the corrosion on the mating surfaces. Alright, make sure to, on your brush in there, on your cables, make sure you have good contact. Alright, I like to put the positive on first. That way if you accidentally touch your wrench, your tool, to anything on the truck or car, there's no ground, no continuity there. So in this case we just need to tighten this thing up. It's a really good design. Gets a really tight grip. And then lastly we'll do the negative. Make sure it's seated all the way down. And then just tighten. I don't know if any other manufacturers use this style of cable end here with the wedge, but these are really nice. Alright. Lastly, a little coat of the battery protector. It's like a waxy type material. Just helps again prevent any the corrosion from building up on anything. I'm actually going to put a little shot on the end of that battery cable there. I've had those get nasty. Alright, all we have to do, make sure we drop this guy back down into place. Make sure it's seated in there. Not sure why this thing is standing. Go back to the 8mm. Maybe 10 pounds. But if you're watching a video about replacing a battery, you're probably going to have a torque wrench. We're just trying to help the people out there that maybe are looking for some of the small details on replacing their battery, but really just don't need to kill it. As soon as it gets nice and snug, it's not moving around. Go ahead and put this cover back down. That's it. Professional style. That sounds like what it should. Good strong battery. Just in time for one. If you like videos like these, make sure to subscribe so you can follow along. Four Boys out.